Hey guys, Marcus Alexander Bagwell and
Stacy Brown.
And we are on week 1 of this amputation and what it was like, getting into this thing and going into this. And Stacy was talking about how it really made her feel like this was like going to a funeral, getting ready for a funeral. Why'd you feel that way?
I don't know what happened for the past month. It was bad, but then the countdown to the 10th. For about 10 days, I was just really depressed and sad, and it was like I was preparing myself for a funeral. And I was worried about how Mark was going to do. I was worried about how he'd feel afterwards, and all along I knew that it was the best decision for sure. But it didn't matter. It didn't make me feel any better. I still really struggled, and I kept saying we should do counseling before and after, and that was just not an option. Nobody made a big deal out of that, and I still think there needs to be some type of different planning for this. But
she held a lot of this away from me, which I'm not sure what's right or wrong. It's not wrong by no means, but just I remember the day of surgery. She said like a funeral, and I was like, I really did fully disagree with that, but it's easy to disagree with it on this end. But I didn't know she was taking this that hard. I really knew. I didn't know. 85% I knew that this was a good decision. I didn't think I know if it was a great decision or not, but it definitely, to me, wasn't a funeral. This was a move and a chance for a better life.
And I knew it was. And I knew and I didn't know actually where he got me, was like 3 days prior to surgery, telling me how difficult it was when I was saying we really need to do some type of counseling. And he's like, if I haven't needed counseling for the past 5 years, going into the ring and with my straight leg and just all the different things that he's had to battle with, then he certainly...
Not taking my shoe off on the road and
right.
Having people get my shoe on for me and that kind of stuff you just don't talk about because I'm living it. So you just go with it,
Yeah. So he didn't do counseling for that. So he's like, I don't need it for this. And I still was really just a wreck. I mean, I really was a wreck, especially
you hit it well.
Yes, I did.
You really did.
I didn't want to upset him, and I didn't want to make him feel worse, because usually you can play off of each other. So if I would have been really upset about it, I feel like it would have hurt him more. But then day up, I couldn't control myself, and I didn't know. I mean, my hands have never shake. They never shake, but they were shaking. I was going back and forth to the bathroom, crying and just trying to pull myself together because I didn't want him to see me. And then he caught me, I guess.
Yeah. So the surgery was supposed to be no more than 2 hours, is what Dr. Bradbury said. No more than 2 hours. So Stacy was expecting no more than 2 hours. I went under anesthesia at 11:24, and then
I didn't get to see him until 6:40. The doctors, though, both came to see me. Dr. Hill last came to see me probably around 5, I think. I think surgery was over maybe 4:30.
I don't know.
And he came to see me and told me how Mark was doing. He checked on Mark again. I think he checked on him 2 or 3 times. He was amazing. But showed me the pictures and the video, which actually was extremely helpful, because then I just knew what to expect. So as strange as that sounds, it really was very helpful. But then we're still sitting in the waiting room, and I guess for me it seemed like a really long time, because I thought it was like 8:30 before we saw him. But I started thinking that maybe he had decided to tell them no visitors, because, the patient can decide that and just shut you out. And that's really what I was beginning to think he had done. And I was getting very uptight. I didn't even mention it to Chase. I didn't say anything.
Really?
Yeah, no, I I was like, I'm going to call the doctor and tell him that he needs to tell him to open those doors because I'm coming back. No doubt about it. I was so upset though.
I love it. Well, obviously that's not what was going on. The surgeon just took a long time and made sure he did a great job at it. I still haven't asked, and we need to ask how it went from 2 hours to 5 hours and 30 minutes is roughly what it was. So we don't really know what happened. There was no problem. There was no problems. No things that happened bad. No blood transfusion, nothing like that. So I don't really know what added 3.5 hours to it, but something did. But man, it was nothing but a good ending for sure. A good finish. Great stitches, great closing. 2 great doctors doing a great job.
Great video, great pictures that they took.
Yes.
Which is crazy, but
yes,
very helpful.
I wish we could show it on YouTube. YouTube won't allow you to show it, but we have the entire amputation on film. Wow.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So also, with surgeries, me only being 3 years sober is very difficult. A lot of people, relapse over things like this, and it's tough for people, and I remember, so they came in and I was in a lot of pain, but still, it was tolerable, but it was pain. And I remember that this lady came in with can't remember the medicine.
Dilaudid.
Very good. I can remember that name. Dilaudid, one of my favorites of a long time ago. And it was a button. And I said, well, how do you know when to mash it? And she actually said,
look at your clock.
Set your timer. And I went, absolutely set your timer. So I set my timer and I was hitting it every 10 minutes and kind of dozed off or something. I woke up and the button was gone. I'm like, I wonder where the button is. So I didn't ask to get it back. At that junction, and I just realized this right now, at that junction, what I did, instead of saying, where's my pain button? My leg is hurting. I wasn't hurting, so I thought, let's see, which is very unlike a drug addict to have this thought. I said, let's see how long before I need it, really. And it was a really long time, and then it was every so often we'd hit it, and then it wasn't even a half a day. It wasn't 3 or 4 hours later to where they unplugged it, and I had to take an oral Oxycontin 10 to see if that would last 4 hours. And if that pain lasts for 4 hours and you can handle the pain orally, you can go home. So we did that with the first pain pill, and we went home. We went home the next day. But it was really. I know a lot of people have a hard time with. I hear dentists a lot with relapses. You go to the dentist thinking this is some minor stuff done, and you get on pain meds, and then you end up relapsing. But I've had 40-something surgeries on this thing, but after rehab, I only had about 5 with feet and everything. I have 4 or 5 surgeries, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, something like 5 surgeries, counting my left foot and my right knee. 5 surgeries, and all 5, she was in control of everything. And at first, it was a argument because she wouldn't give me a pill if I was hurting. And so, but once we figured it out, and this time it was no problem at all. But I really was in I think, a different mindset than she thought I was. But I was angry how I was getting treated. But again, a lot of drug addicts go through this where they forget about the 20 years of how they acted, and then they want everybody to treat them, like everything's good, and that's not how it works. But everything went well, but it just, I was really shocked. I think you were too, that I was off pain meds in 5 days.
Yeah, so
I mean, amputating your leg, and I was literally it was 5 days. 5 days of a Oxycontin 10, which to me is about like taking an Advil back in the day. An Oxycontin 10 every 6 hours. And it was it went well for 5 days, and we quit taking them about the 5th day.
Yes. And I will say that I feel like I could see the addiction and see the evil, because I do believe addiction is evil, and I could see it kind of creeping in the day with the button. And the lady said, the nurse said, you only hit it when you're in pain. And he said, how do you know in the 10 minutes? And she said, you just look at your clock, So when I noticed that he had set his clock, I said, why did you do that? He said, the nurse told me to. But she, she said, you don't hit it unless you're in pain. And I could tell he was very happy, very upbeat, sleeping really well.
I wasn't in pain, right?
Yeah,
So
he just really wasn't in pain.
Right.
It was not me being just ugly like it sounds like. I'm really not, but it was me trying to protect him, trying to protect us, because we don't need to wake up that monster.
No, well, you're not.
Definitely not. So, no pain meds since Monday after the surgery, which is only 5 days, and he's done amazing. Right?
Still doing good, man.
Yes.
Keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.